Stephanie feels like she's not a part of her children's lives, and she wants us to help her come up with a solution. This is the Metro Woman Talk Show, and I'm your host, Chineye Noli. I'm excited that you're joining me today. With me on the show is Mistura Shittu, also known as the Lady Carpenter, and Iwo, our fit and fab coach, who is also a relationship and lifestyle coach. Welcome, ladies. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
The first question that I have here is from Stephanie, who lives in Lagos, and she says, "Hello, Metro Woman. I love your show. Thank you. Please, I need your advice. I'm a successful career woman, and my husband works from home because he runs his own business. I feel that my kids are closer to him than they are to me. I often feel like I'm missing out on their childhood. How do I strike the work-life balance?" So we have Stephanie, who is a successful career woman. Her husband works from home. She feels like she's missing out on their childhood. Mistura, can you relate?
Yes, I can relate very well because I would say that I'm a career woman too.
Yes.
And one thing I've noticed about children tends to like the person they see more. So it's not as if the kids doesn't like Stephanie, but because they see their father more, they tend to bond more with their father. So one of the things I do is I write the things I want to do with my kids, and I put time to it. I'm usually on phone almost every time. So I know that when I'm home from this time to this time, I'm not going to receive any call. So we call it time out with mom. So when it's time out with mom, sometimes we play chess, we play Scrabble, we talk about what happened in school or what do they want to talk about. We do visualization together, you know, things that are not common that will be memorable to them, that wow, I remember when I was growing up, my mom used to do this. So Stephanie needs to be more deliberate in, you know, bonding with her kids. She needs to do things they love. She also needs to ask her kids, what do you want? Then sometimes you just want to spoil them. You just want to do things that will make them, oh, I love my mommy. You know, if your kids love gifts, not that you buy expensive gifts, but just do surprise that with, oh, you know, they want to have that thing in their head that yes, mommy did this, yes, daddy is there, but mommy is also there.
Mommy's presence is
very, very exactly. So it's very, very important. I mean, she takes note of that and do that.
Yeah, so I hear you saying schedule time for your children. At the same time, you have to schedule for your work and your activities.
Exactly.
It has to be deliberate.
Yes.
Iwo, what are your thoughts?
I would say that I share a bit with our experience because I remember when I had my daughter.
Yeah.
She also started to cling more to her dad because my work there was a particular period I worked like 30 days in the month. And I think it's important to begin to ask questions. Like if her husband is doing a very good job with the children, taking care of them and all that, like she said, be deliberate in ensuring that I spend a minimum of so amount of time with them. Now, one of the things that she may want to do is, you know, weekends, like they say, are for owambe's or stuff. So she would have to sacrifice those times. You know, if you just know that, okay, since I'm not able to make up for, you know, Monday to Friday, Saturdays are for family. And then she can then inculcate activities that could help everyone to bond. They know that mommy is working, but at the same time, knowing that when mommy is with us, she's not going to trade it for anything in the world.
And they look forward to those moments.
Yes, and then also if, you know, you decide, like at a point I just had to, you know what, I said, okay, you know what, I needed to just resign for a bit and focus on family, and I don't have any regrets at all. So if you think that, you know, maybe your work is so exhausting and, you know, it's draining and you feel you may not be able, because sometimes you're just emotionally drained and you just even have nothing left to give, then you may want to, you know, maybe begin to plan or you like think about what you can do whilst, you know, you just take some time out, because the truth of the matter is tomorrow these children are all grown and then you can go back and then take your career to the next level.
Yeah. I usually take my kids to work.
Oh,
yes.
So you to get them, let them see what you're doing.
Almost every weekend I take them out, if I know that I'm going to be on site, if I'm not meeting a client or doing, because the reason is I know I'm working Monday to Saturday or Sunday sometime.
Yes.
So my Saturdays, my daughter is in boarding house, but my son, we go to work together.
Okay.
He actually helped me out. He's carrying, I have series of videos. He will just want to help. It's natural now. He will pick something. He will help the guys working on site. What can I do for you? And he's seeing mommy working. He's talking to me. The reason is I still want us to bond together. And I also want him to understand that mommy is working. Not that mommy abandoned you in the house.
Absolutely. So even if you're not there, he has an idea.
Exactly. So we do the homework together on site. We do almost everything together. And we are coming from church. If maybe I'm working on Sunday. From church, we are back to site working together. So that bond is there. And I'm not, before I usually feel guilty like Stephanie. But now I don't feel guilty again because I've been able to balance. I also let them understood that this is why mommy is doing this. You need to see what mommy is, because I saw my mother growing up like that. My mother usually take me to work too. Maybe that was why I picked my entrepreneurship skill and everything. So I saw it in her and I've been able to pass it down to my kids.
That's fantastic. So we have done very serious stuff now. I've seen the way you have, you know, we have been speaking about the deliberacy of the moment, how you must let your children know you love them.
Yes.
We called Stephanie. And there's a twist to this question. Now, Stephanie mentioned that, look, it's not as if I have a problem with my kids, you know, saying daddy first before they say mommy. However, her daughter got into a conversation with her dad about a boy that she had a crush on. Her daughter had her first menstrual period and it was her husband that had to deal with it. She was devastated because she felt like her husband was like, this girl, she has a crush on a boy. She's like, oh my goodness. She had to tell her dad about her first crush. She felt betrayed. She felt her daughter, should have told her. So, I mean, those are some of the things that triggered her thinking, you know, like, I have to be here for my kids. Should I resign? Like, I can't afford to have this happen. So that takes me to the next question. Both of you have girls. So let's talk about introducing sexual education. In all of that conversation, where does that come in? At what age do you start talking to girls? Because, I mean, you want to make time for your baby girls, but very soon you have to start talking about the boy they are crushing on, or the fact that their period has started, or they have all of these things happening, and they want to know what it is. And I know that a lot of women scream, like, they don't even know where to start from. I've had friends call me to say, Chinenye, what do I do? And I'm like, I don't have a clue. I can send you to a coach. So guide us along those lines, especially for girls. I think that no matter how much your father can provide, no matter how much, you know, there's still the place that a mother has when it comes to relationships. And funny enough, these children, by 8 years old, they are talking about the boy in their class that says my goodness. Coach, certified life coach. I did not introduce you, but you're a certified life coach. Let's start from you. What's your take on
I can actually relate.
Guiding children through that growing up
because I have
phase?
a 11 going 12-year-old daughter, so I could relate.
So
I'd actually started with her, I think when she was 7 or 8.
Okay, on sexual education.
Yes, it depends on your relationship with your girl. In my own case, I'm very, very close to her. We talk about almost everything. And I'd prepared her in terms of the sexual relationship, sexual talk and everything. Even up until when she sees her first period, what she's going to do, how she's going to take it, what the signs and everything, because I don't want, she's in boarding house, I don't want anybody to tell her the wrong thing.
Yes.
And she will pick those things.
So we have to tell them now.
Yes,
Before their friends tell them.
I told her everything she needs to know. Then also talking about the sexual part, she told me about a boy in her class. Some parents feel, no, she shouldn't be talking to a boy, or she shouldn't have a crush. My son is 6 years old and he has a crush.
You see, children of nowadays.
In fact, he called me and begged me last week, Mommy, please, Ara had gone to another school. Can you please change my school? I want to be seeing Ara.
Are you kidding me?
So, because he wants to be seeing Ara every day,
Yeah.
he actually have Ara's picture in my living room now.
Are you
So that I can be seeing Ara. Why do you like Ara? Ara is very intelligent and she's beautiful. That's it. So I didn't say any big deal in that.
Yeah.
And I usually tell them what they should watch out for and what they shouldn't, you know.
So do you
it's
tell them
no
things
big
like-
deal if children have crush on, you know.
So
anyone
it's
else.
handling it so that they don't start to get overprotective,
Yes,
and let them know that
yes.
you are their friends. Iwo,
Yes.
how do you deal with that for your kids?
Okay, so for me and for my, because
Smile,
I have
smile. Tell
I have
us-
3
tell us
daughters.
the truth. You have 3 daughters.
I have 3 daughters.
Yes.
And of course, one is older.
Yeah.
And then I have the other 2 who are, one is 6 and one is 4.
Yeah.
And then of course my son.
Yeah.
So for my daughter, what we did was to start talking very early. On her 10th birthday, one of the things I did was I brought a doctor who talks to all of them. And that day was hilarious.
About
And what
sex
about
education.
the woman's cycle, talked about what to expect when their body is changing. And one of the girls, actually my daughter's best friend, said, "Ew, I'm never going to have children. Man, this is so difficult." Like, I'm never going to
take
have
it from
children. And what informed, because sometimes there's so much you can share. I know how children, not like they're not listening to you, but when they hear someone else share, because she's a doctor who has dealt with a lot of cases with young girls and all of that. So it was a good opportunity for them to hear her story, what she's dealt with, and all that. Also, since as a child, I was abused, so that has helped to set my antennas up. So my 6-year-old and my 4-year-old know that even when I'm playing with them, if I smack their butts by mistake, they turn and they're violent. How dare you? As in, like, don't even go there. So we try as much as possible. Like, I try to talk to them, even when they're playing with themselves. They know that no, that's a no-go area. Just the little things that I can. For my daughter, she is one who, like my 11-year-old, she's the one who processes a whole lot. So I think she's just busy processing and, maybe not ready on a lighter note, not ready to get a crush yet. Because I keep asking her, is there anybody you like in your class? No, I just gave her the opportunity to, learn during her birthday with friends, and and she shared her experience, and that has helped her, have a more holistic. I think things like this should be done for girls at that
For
age.
girls, especially because of sexual abuse. You just
and
mentioned you were abused as a child. Would you like to shed a bit of light to help parents just
Okay,
to help them get more aware of the dangers?
Like it happened for me, it was a family friend.
Yeah.
So it was someone that was very trusted, that comes, around to the family. So of course, when the advances were made, I was confused. I wasn't.
It was supposed to be your uncle. Or
it was
someone
like
you
it's
looked up
not.
to?
It's like a friend to my eldest brother is almost 10 years older than I am.
Okay.
So he used to come around a lot, and of course members in the same church, and then started to make advances of me. So the first attempt, I was confused, and because I didn't have that relationship with my mom,
So
I
there was nobody
wasn't
to talk
able to,
to.
because I was scared. Like, if I tell her, she will beat me.
Yeah.
So what do? I kept quiet. And then, of course, he came, and, I just was dying silently, quietly, like wondering.
And you couldn't tell anybody.
I couldn't tell
you were scared.
anyone.
Did he threaten you? Did he say?
No,
if you
it
tell
was not
somebody-
necessarily threats, but he was just very nice. He was really nice, really nice. He's a very quiet type, doesn't talk. So he was just nice. He didn't threaten me or anything. So the niceness, I
Got
guess,
you, so you-
overpowered my, you know, my thoughts. So right now, I always, almost every day, I'm sure my first daughter will tell you, ringing the bell. I've talked to her about the experience I had. I've talked to her the limits that she should go. I've talked to her, look, do not ever be afraid to give someone a hot slap, when you have to do it, girlfriend. Don't be afraid to do that. So, you know, I mean, they at least right now, they are at the point where they are very aware. All my girls,
Very
they're really aware. Yes.
Mr. Do you want to say something about this?
Yes, I was also, I was abused when I was younger too, and the abuse, unfortunately, continued. And when I eventually lost my virginity to a stranger that I don't know, that I was raped twice. And all that happened, I could not tell my parents.
Wow.
I could not tell my mother.
Why
my
couldn't
mother,
you tell?
My mother was very, very, very harsh. She was a disciplinarian. I didn't tell my mother.
Probably also a result of the way they were raised.
Yeah, exactly. I told my mother was blaming herself, and I told her it's not her fault. I think I told her maybe like few years ago, like 3 years ago, that I was raped. She didn't know.
Wow.
All through, I lost my virginity maybe when I was 19 or 20. I was raped. She didn't. I could not see myself telling her. She felt bad. She nearly fainted. Like, wow, Tura, you went through all that. I said to Mommy, I cannot face you to tell, because you don't even have the emotional intelligence to undo that. You will tell the whole world that your daughter was raped, you beat me. I was the one that went through the pain. You now still beat me. No, I wasn't ready for that. There was a particular guy that really wanted to do it before I got raped eventually. I held a bottle and hit the stuff on the wall. Like, if you come near me, I would. And the guy was like, "Oh, really?" I said, "Yes, I'm gonna hit you." So that's how I've been able to, manage and train my daughter to.
Kids.
Yeah.
So this is so crucial.
Yeah, it is.
We have to take this seriously.
Yes.
We have to protect the next generation of girls.
Yes. And we should also teach them the red flags.
Teach
Just
them the red flags.
Yes, just
What
like
red
she
flags?
said.
Like, could you give us some
the
examples?
boy in question was very nice.
Very nice.
So
yeah.
parents should also be nice to their children.
Absolutely.
Yes, because if you're not nice to your kids and someone
And
is
a
showing
stranger
you
is nice.
niceness, the children will tilt towards them.
Oh my goodness.
So those red flags are very, very important. When a boy is being too nice to you, they're buying gifts, they're hitting your butt, and you're not saying anything. No, you tell that person never and ever in a stern voice to do that, and you tell your parents immediately. You don't need to say, even if the boy apologizes. No, you have to tell your parent that, Mom, I don't want this person around me, or this person did this.
This is what
Exactly.
This person did.
And if anybody is telling you, don't tell your mommy or don't tell your daddy, you should know that person meant
Wants to do
yes.
something. Yeah.
Those are the things we should be deliberate and tell them this, because sometimes if we don't empower these children with information and likely scenarios, create scenarios, things we've seen in movies, or you've heard this happen to someone. Why will you hide such information from your children? You are scared that, they are too small. You'll be shocked that they are smarter than you. So just paint those scenarios. Okay, if you find yourself in this situation, I've asked my daughter, if you find yourself in this situation, what will you do? I was shocked what she told me. She said, Mommy, I will hit the boy where he will never forget in his life. I said, "Ooh, really? But you cannot hit him hard unless you know how to do Kung Fu or this martial art." Yes, I told her that you have to do that, because the boy will not know that you can fight. And you're not going to use the whatever you have learned to oppress people. But it's just self-defense.
For self-defense.
Yes.
And that also brings...
I just wanted to, taking back to communicating with your children.
Yes.
And there was one thing that my parents did which has helped me as a better mom today. The moment my dad and my mom realized that the method they were using to train us was not adequate, my parents called a family meeting and they apologized.
Wow.
So my daughter can tell you that from time to time I tell her, okay, I'm sorry that I didn't do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, so what do you want? She's such a pleasant girl. She honestly doesn't give me a headache. Like, Mommy, I always shouting, and she just says it in such a sweet, she makes me feel like I'm super mom. So back to the lady, You can't call your daughter and have a conversation and say, you know what, I feel very terrible that I was not
Yes.
there when,
Yes.
you know,
All
I
of
am
the
so
time.
sorry that I, you know, and then ask her, how do you want us to go on from here?
Exactly.
She may not trust you at first, but you must constantly open the lines, and then eventually, when she'll test you, when she sees that okay, I can
trust
confide
me.
in her, then she begins to open up. Yes.
I noticed that we talked a lot about girls, but the focus is also on boys. We need to, the both, you know, boys are abused as well, girls are abused, and we need to pay attention to all the kids, irrespective of gender, of course. So, Stephanie, I hear my coaches saying to you, be deliberate, be intentional, and you can absolutely do this. And this is the 5% Club. On this segment, we're going to be talking about different things that women can do to make their lives better, to become better persons, to make progress on their journey to greatness. And Ms. Tura, I'd like you to share with us 2 points that women can take note of, or 2 things that, you know, they can do to become better women, better entrepreneurs, better mothers.
Well, the first thing is your personal development.
Personal development
Yes,
is key.
Yeah, because I will always tie it back to when I came out of my marriage. You know, the guy actually brought me down.
Yeah.
He left me empty, went with my money, my cars, and everything. You know, just to bring me down. But one thing I kept asking, I was asking questions like, what do I do from here? Where do I go from here? So I made up my mind I was going to, you know, develop myself and become the person God has actually ordained me to become. I'm not going to bring myself down because I was brought down by marriage or by a man or whatever. So I was deliberate in developing myself. I started going to different courses, different schools and everything, and that's really helped my entrepreneurial journey. Then the second part is your spiritual life. You can't joke with that. Things happen in the spiritual before happening in the physical realm. So I'm very, very, very much in my spiritual world before my physical world. My relationship with my God, I don't joke with it, because God actually said He said He would direct your path. So whatever you want to do, you have to settle it with God first. Listen to Him. Let Him lead you. Let Him guide you. Then sky is the beginning for you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Aniwo. Your 2 points here.
Still the last one. Okay, but what I'll say is, love the person you are, embrace the person you are, while you know, evolve into the person you want to be.
Absolutely.
Who you are, your experiences, the fallbacks or the shortcomings and all of that, they are all part of what is going to make you who you're going to be tomorrow. So do not neglect the pain, do not neglect the struggles, and even celebrate your wins at every point in time while you become the who you so desire to be. And then she's already talked about, you know, God, so I hold strongly to that as well. That's a core value for me. And then I would add this: believe that nothing is impossible. Nothing is you are unstoppable, and just keep aiming high. And you know, the Bible says with God all things are possible.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. This has been such a beautiful experience. You also can be like Stephanie and send your questions, your concerns, anything bothering you. Send it to ask@metrowomanafrica.org. That's what we're here for. We're here to answer your questions. So from myself and the members of the show today, my crew, my panel, we're going to say bye together. Let's tell them bye. With lots of love from us. See you same time next week. God bless you.